Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. I was just checking out the latest issue of Build the Starship Enterprise. Pretty interesting on how they designed the Enterprise for Star Trek Next Generation. And so if you're come, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, thanks for joining us. Um, and you guessed it, today we're starting a new series on building the Enterprise-D from Star Trek The Next Generation. So grab a beverage, maybe a snack, and settle in. And before we get started, all right, welcome back, nerds. Before we get started, I showed you we got we're going to cover stage 1 and 2 today, and just to give you a quick glimpse, we have stage 1, all the parts set up and ready to go. Um, Again, these model kits are huge die-cast model kits. They include LED lights. This particular one is from Fanhome. Um, we're going to cover stage 1, but before we jump into it, I wanted to give you a chance to see exactly what we're building today and just get some idea of the immense size of this. So let's take a look at that real quick. Here we go. So if you can see, the model kit does come apart, so you can remove the soft serve section just like the show. It is fully wired with LEDs. And here in just a second, you'll get some idea of just really how large this thing is. Again, all metal. There are some plastic parts. For the vast majority of this kit's gonna be all metal. They weigh a good size being all or a good amount being all metal. Of course, there's different fun pieces. And there she is. Look at the size of that. So been pretty excited to get started on this one. And again, it's from Fanhome. So, um let's stop wasting time and jump over to the build plate and let's get started. All righty. Having some mic issues here. Grabbing my own beverage. Nothing special, just a glass of water. Hopefully you can hear me all right. And if you enjoy building these model kits, let me know in the chat. Give us a thumbs up if you're so inclined, and if you want to see more of these and continue down this journey with us, go ahead and hit subscribe. We also have other model kits that we've built on here or are building. Check those out. Plan on doing a whole series of these until we complete this one and the other ones we're working on. Just something fun to do. And let's get this started. All right, step 1 is we're gonna start assembling the bridge. So we're gonna take these 2 components, and they are both plastic, and we're just gonna snap them together like that. It's having real issues here. Let's see what I do with this screwdriver. So next up, we're gonna take a couple AP screws and get this attached. To number 1. And each of these model kits does come with their own tools, though and that's what we're using here today is the one that comes with the first stage. But I do recommend getting your own set. These are kind of cheapy. They'll work for a while, but eventually they'll chip and come off. So that's our bridge section. And next up, we're going to begin some wiring. So we want to take the longest LED wire and we're going to take the yellow and white side. And there's a little tab here, very small, that we are going to pinch this light between. And we're just going to bend this down. Now, once that's in place, we are going to grab the rear light section of the bridge. So this is the bridge rear windows. We're just going to snap that in there. Should sit nice and flush once the lights are situated correctly. There we have that. So now we're going to do the same thing with the rear side, this time with the black and red lights. There's our little tab. Show there. And we're going to take the front windows and up it. it. Again, having big hands is always fun with this stuff. Get you back in place. Get you thread under. Situated right, it should snap in there, but it doesn't like we do. There we go. Yeah, no, don't got it. Little. There we go. Now we've got that in place. Next up, we're going to take this assembly and thread this through. And that. Should have this. Let's make sure it's good. And once again, we're going to take a couple of AP screws. And these letters are the sizes of the screws. Now I need a moment to fix this mic. It's falling off for some. Okay, the joys of live presentations or whatever you want to call it at this stage, live videos. All right, let's put this back together. Of course, you run through this stuff and you practice and you make sure everything works. And then right when you go live, things go wrong. So being in IT, you realize you try not to do that because it happens far too much. But I think these live videos are always more fun. You get audience engagement, fun to talk to people, build a community, all that fun stuff. All right, so there we go. Bridge done. So we'll just set that aside. Now we're going to grab deck 2. As we work on deck 2, once again, we're going to jump into 4 lights, and this time we're going to take this section and use the yellow and black. That is going to go right here. Beautiful. To take this little piece or this one is going to be this one. So how does this sit on? So, little hole. This one. It's definitely not. What is going on here? Little hole. Man. There we go. Now that is going to be screwed in with a CM screw. And because this is going in metal, one of the tricks we use, which if you see this in another video, so we use a simple oil or lubricant. I use the 3-in-1 brand that will help it thread through the metal. These screws are very small with little Phillips heads, so they're real easy to strip. So getting something that'll allow you to get through that metal real easy, allow you to get that snug, reduce the risk of stripping those screws, which will greatly aid your build. right. Next up, we're gonna plug the side in, and there's not gonna be a light on the side just yet. So let's surround this in place. Should fit there. There's again. Oh, let's see. Screw. So I'm not a huge Star Trek fan. I really enjoyed Next Generation, and for those of you that haven't seen the Picard series on uh, Paramount Plus, you're really missing out. Season 3 is fantastic. It's basically, a final season of Next Generation. It's got vast majority of the cast is in it. Uh, even the original Enterprise, which has been destroyed, comes back. So pretty interesting. Pretty good. Season 2, absolutely terrible. Don't recommend watching that unless you're a big Star Trek 4, the movie with the Save the Whales, because it's essentially the same story, but Donald Trump's the villain, so it's just really, really terrible story. Not that being about Donald Trump or whatever is is the terrible part. It really has to do with the fact that they try to stick in another time travel nonsense. So watch 1, watch 3, skip 2, save yourself some agony. All right, now that we've got that in place, we're going to go ahead and do some front deck windows. So you- just laying this in first, it appears. Get that in place. Just fits right in there. And next up, we have more wire to put in. This time, it's going to be these two. If we shouldn't put this in place first. Let's see. Get this slid in there. Okay. Go. Let's twist this around. Do the same thing on the side. There we go there. Let's bend that as. Alrighty. Then again, a bunch more CM screws. So let's work our way from the outside in so we can make sure those LEDs stay where they're supposed to. So far, this kit is a lot easier to put together than the other recent one we started, which is Kit from Knight Rider. Uh, if you want to check that out, you can find that video in our channel. Someday I'll probably go back and edit these to make them shorter videos, but I like building it live with you. Like I said, you know, you can drop a comment, drop a chat. Let me know what you think of this kit. If you interested in picking one up yourself, have you done any of these before? If you have, what's your thoughts and opinions on this? It looks like this. It actually wants me to twist that a little different. So that side it wants threaded. Here. Gonna make sure we get these threaded so that the way it thinks, so that when it comes time to put it all together, it actually is gonna be a smooth process. Okay. Mm, second. Okay, naturally, I did this wrong. So what I did here is it wants actually this in there and this over here. So we're going to take this one out. That explains why it might have been more difficult to get things in there than I anticipated. So let's remove that. Let's get this in place. And since we've learned a little, let's one. There's our cover. There's our there. There we go. Makes more sense and give us some lights to actually light up, not just a hole. Oh, what a mistake. But that's the name of the game, isn't it? That's why we do these videos, so you can catch these before you have to get too far into it. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now, next up is the sensor platform. So it's going to go like this, like this. Just gonna snap there. And then that's going to install with 4 AP screws. They're going to go as little parts, I believe. Actually, it going. Yeah. So, again, you always want to be careful not to strip when they go into plastic. It's very easy to do. So don't over tighten the plastic pieces. As you build your first one of these, you'll notice you got to be really careful with that, with taking care and that kind of stuff, because critical pieces can really become problematic if you mess those up. So then you have to reorder, wait on the parts, and if it's a later part and you're building on a big complex thing, you could really get yourself in a lot of trouble and have to disassemble a lot. So, all right, there's our complete deck 2, or at least mostly complete, ready for the assembly. All that's left on it besides the bridge here is going to be our escape pods, but let's start with the bridge. Get that in place here. Since- That, that nice and flush. So it's ready to screw down on these 3 posts, and those are going to be our CP screws. So each one of these kits, they can come with, you know, as you s they give you special, I don't know, gifts, supposedly. Basically, other junk to get you to try to subscribe. This particular one has a handful of things, a better stand, um, to hold this big behemoth, um, a pin set, and I'm not sure if there's anything else. Those are the big ones. So the pin set I've already got here. I don't, not gonna open it. I don't really care. Um, but there it is if you want to see it. It's like I said, not open. I'm gonna keep it there. Said not a huge Star Trek fan, but I have always liked this ship, so really wanted to have a model of this caliber of this particular Enterprise. There we go. Now that's truly ready for the final steps. And how did this fall out? Awesome. Oh boy. Some, oh, so- uh, Feel in your hole. Here. I tighten that down a little, a little better. Let's hope that that holds. Next up is we're going to start putting in our uh, no ejection things. So this is supposed where this one. It does not want to go there. Deal says goes there. Okay, I don't know how I test fitted all these earlier and they went right in, and now I can't figure out where they take this thing down. Surely those sit worse than that. Maybe not. See that? That one snaps right in. That one snaps right in. Getting full. Next up, last but not least, there. Ready. I think that's as good as they're gonna get. Seem to be snug. And of course, again, this one fell out yet again. So I'm not sure. Probably gonna have to tape it down or something. There's definitely something up with this one not wanting to stay in there. It's come down. Really should be another screw. There's not. Nothing in the directions for it. It's just this one screw. Doesn't like it. So anyway, there we are. The complete stage one. All right. Next up is the port nacelle. So got our cell. Got coil thingy-mabobber. Cover. This fun piece. I don't know if that shows up well on camera, but there's a lot of detail um, on the nacelle itself, so you can see all these grid lines. First, I thought this was plastic when I looked at it. I was like, "Oh, that's disappointing," but nope, it's heavy metal there. So I don't know. You can hear that. Um, we've got pod here. Actually, they're probably first. This fancy piece. This fancy piece. This little tiny thing. And seems to be something missing. O2J. Oh, there it is. It's clear, so I could not see it. All right, so next up, we're going to take this fun thing, the nacelle, as they call it. Move all this up so we have some space to work. So you can see, we're going to take this piece and to lay that in like that. Take this little nubby here. Put this, looks like this, a certain direction. Oh, yeah. Okay, then we're going to take this thing. Just going to press that in there, it says. So that's slid in there. It's nice and snug. And next up is this. It's going to sit there like so. Going to attach this with a whole bunch of AM screws. I are at a critical step. Yep. So when going into metal, again, this in there, And you know, I forgot the background music of this video, so of course, what fun is that? Okay, so now it's on, but hopefully it's not too overbearing, if you can even hear it at all. Swear we might throw in a time-lapse video if this was a recording. Nice and boring. Screwing in a whole bunch of screws. But we only got 2 left after this one for this section. So, what's your favorite episode of Next Generation? If you're are you even a Star Trek fan? Let me know in the chat or the comments. Again, appreciate a subscribe, a like. If you like this video, share it with your friends. All right, that step's done. Now we're gonna put this piece on. Slide that in like so. And then these are gonna go in with some BM screws. And this is where I go for my patented poop joke that no bowel movements in this model kit. It's messy. Right here, as you can see, all this clear plastic. Obviously, the LEDs are going to light a lot of this up like a Christmas tree when we get that to that stage, which is going to be a long time from now. And then it'll be constant testing throughout as you're constantly trying to make sure you have light. All right, so looks like what we're going to do here, lay this in. Just like so. And these are going to be attached with AP screws. So yay, another massive step of just methodically putting in a lot of screws. All right, before we put that other warp engine field on, let's take a look. Yeah, looks pretty good. So let's dump this side on. And we're going to repeat what we just did. Very nice and simple. So gotta tell you, so far this one has been a lot easier to put together than some of the other kits I've built from this company. I currently have the DeLorean from Back to the Future, which was really the first kit I built from this company. It's actually I'm drawing a blank on their name. Started with an E. Anyway. Back then they went out of business, and then D'Agostini or whatever their name is bought the rights to all these kits from Eagle Moss. That was the name of the company, from Eagle Moss, and started redistributing them here in the United States under the brand Fanhome, which is you see in this video, and it's where the clip we watched earlier. All right, so that one's on. So next up is the rear section of that. So just slide that in place. And again, we're doing some AP screws. Looks like just 2. Oh, it's not. Not too bad. All right. Oh, wait, it's not on there. Okay, so this is called the Boussard collector, and it's actually not needed for this step. So it tells you to keep it in a safe place. So guess they decided to include it to keep the price low during shipping for them. I guess, I don't know. But when it's assembled, it'll look with the bottom piece. It'll look like that. There's side, top, other side, back, and of course the front, front, side, back, front. So that there, and of course this was stage 1 piece we built, which is deck 2 and the bridge along with the skate pods. So that is it. So let's jump back over. So that's it, folks. I hope you enjoyed building with us the stage 1 and 2 of Star Trek Next Generation U.S.S. Enterprise NCC-1701-D. That's a mouthful. Enterprise-D. Easy to remember. If you have any questions, drop a line in the chat. If you enjoyed this video, thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for joining us. And we'll see you on the next one.